Welcome back to the Current Comfort and Coffee podcast. I am one of your hosts, Randy Dallaire, licensed electrical, mechanical, and boiler contractor in the state of Michigan. And I'm joined here by...
My name is John.
Hi, John.
I'm the master electrician over at Dallaire.
He does wires
and stuff. Yeah.
This is episode 6 that we're doing right now. Hot on the heels of episode 5, once a week. Hopping into your inbox at 6 a.m. on Monday mornings because I spend my entire Sunday editing. I have a couple comments to kick things off with from the last.
Cool. Starting comments early then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to talk about something else first.
I mean, no. I don't think we should. I don't think we should mention anything about the coffee.
Well, I mean, we can bring up the coffee first.
No brand names. I bid one of their buildings electrically.
Oh, yeah. And you didn't win it?
Yeah.
So, I picked up Scooters this morning. There's a Scooters location on Bristol Road by 475. I do like Scooters a lot.
That's what I bid. The exact building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have got it if you bid it for us.
I think I came in at say 35, 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't much. Not a very big building.
No, it's tiny. Yeah. All it is like an espresso machine.
Most of that was probably, gear and lighting and,
Yeah. It's talk about a good location. Weird parking lot. It's got like a spiral loop to it where it's like you pull in and then go around the building to the drive-through and then you have to go back out. It's like a little
I
shell.
remember looking at the drawings at the time because there's a lot of underground conduit that runs underneath to the drive-through, both for power but also for communication wires. So what I remember of that particular bid was it's really hard to understand what we were responsible for, and most of it was like the actual conduit to pull things through. But
it sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, that is mostly parking lot and driveway. There's very little room to send wires from one side of the property to the other.
Yeah, I remember looking at the drawings and thinking, what is going on here?
It is an interesting design. It makes sense, though, because you can get a line of cars in there it's like Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? You've seen the lines that wrap around Chick-fil-A before. And they've got 2 drive-throughs and it's just packed and wraps around the building.
Dude, the first time I went to a Chick-fil-A for the first time last summer. I went with my brother to the one in Lansing, and the drive-thru was like 4 lanes wide.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he pulled up and I'm like, fuck this. He's like, no, it goes quick. And I'm like, and it did.
Yep.
I mean, it was.
They know how to crank through.
Man, they do.
And cook some chicken, apparently.
McDonald's just split the one line and just.
I don't see how that speeds anything up.
It doesn't. It just creates chaos.
And then the person who ordered after you is like a dick and tries to get in front of you. And it's like, no, like the one lady inside that took my order and then yours.
Yeah.
Just make it easier on them. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm being a boomer about it, but it's just, I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it's okay. You can take 2 orders, but also now that line has to merge into one.
It's still just one person taking 2 orders. So it didn't speed anything up is my thing. Like both cars are still in the same line.
Yeah.
Going to the same window next. It just seemed like a waste of resources.
You're still waiting on fries when you actually get up to the window.
Right, yeah. And the ice cream machine's still broken.
Right.
Well, anyway, I went to Scooters. Every time I go in there now, I ask for the largest coffee that they're legally allowed to give me. Or I'll say absolutely gigantic hazelnut latte, and it makes them smile. And that's what it brings me joy to bring other people joy. I'm really cool in that way. So I ordered a hazelnut latte. I know, odd. Got you a black coffee. But today, she said, we're giving out stickers today. And it says Scooters Coffee Cozy Brunch Club. I don't know what that means.
Part of the club now?
I'm part of a cozy brunch club. That's what it says.
Do they have a brunch club?
I have no idea. She gave me the sticker. I was like, cool.
I want brunch now.
Well, here, you want the sticker?
No, I don't want the sticker.
Okay.
I want brunch. Fuck.
Listen to me.
Listen.
Did you hear what I said? I said, I want brunch. So yeah, that's where I got coffee from today. I do really like Scooters. There's only one in the area. And I hope that they build one in Davison because I don't want to have to drive all the way down to Burton to get my coffee in the mornings. In Davison, though, I am really partial to my Big Apple bagels because I love Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does know who you are, by the way.
Does she?
Yeah. I talked to her about it the other day.
Yeah, you totally threw me under the bus.
Yeah, I did. I was like,
I was like
she thought it was funny. She's like, I'm terrible with names. And yeah, I didn't.
oh, so I was right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And she knows who
I feel
I was like, his name's
validated now.
John. She's like,
Yeah.
I should remember that.
It's fine. John's only like a super common name, you know?
Mine's a really
From the
odd
Bible.
one. It's from the Bible. Randy's not. It's from a guitarist in the 80s. Randy Rhoads. What do we got for comments here? Don't worry, we can cut this out.
No.
No, just leave the dead air.
Yep. You know, I never noticed that before in podcasts until just recently, where I don't know what it is about some of these political podcasts that it sounds like they're talking a million miles a minute, almost like they put their audio on 1.5 or something. It's
going too fast.
I can't tell if like that's how they talk, like they've just done a bunch of coke.
Yeah.
Or if
my wife listens to books on like 2 to 3 times speed.
I understand that if you can process.
I can't process.
I can't either.
It sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks book edition. You played Animal Crossing, the little voices.
Yeah. What do you say?
Exactly. All right, I found it. So speaking of forgetting names, Audrey said, I'm also guilty of forgetting a name the absolute millisecond it leaves their tongue. My hack is to immediately use their name several times. If I don't get that opportunity, I'll forget 99% of the time. And she said, P.S. Our audio sounds great.
Oh.
Yeah. And then also same day, she said episode 3, the Trump versus career mentality, she said, also Sparky the stove is currently and then laughing crying emoji, currently doing great. The air fryer was sent to the trashola. We haven't replaced it.
I knew it.
Watch the mail.
I
Audrey.
asked her. I said,
you're going to get a freaking air fryer in the mail.
Does the air fryer work? We'll replace it. We're getting a new one. Does it work? Because we're going to replace the stove was an easy fix. Although, oh God, she left a comment on that Facebook post I made where I said, you know, there's nothing better than hearing the cheers of a family as their water comes back on. God, I should find it. Oh no, she sent a message to me. She's like, I had to laugh extra hard at this because I screamed bloody murder when my flower she was like, so I guess we can tell a quick little story.
Yeah, I'll never live that one down.
My apprentice, my new apprentice, Randy, was making the connections to the panel from the disconnect outside. And I had to run and go get my daughter from school. And I said, I will be back. This wire here, this wire here, this wire here, go. And pretty straightforward. I came back. I did not check his work. So apparently the way Audrey tells it is that when Edan flipped the disconnect outside and turned the power onto the house, well, Edan describes it as a hum, and that at which he looked at the disconnect and said, that's not good, and then turned it back off. Audrey says that she was leaned over her kitchen sink and the stove lit the whole room up and started making an awful noise. And she said she screamed.
So that must be the hum.
Yeah, that would have been the hum that Edan was hearing outside at the disconnect.
That's the hum of Audrey reverberating through the wall.
So the next day when I
I love that
I,
this was what we talked about on episode 3, and now in episode 6, it's like, let's tell the story over.
yeah. So I went out there the next day. She insisted that they were going to throw the stove away or they were going to sell it and get a new one. And I said,
No,
I understand. You are welcome to do that, but we're going to fix the stove so that you can sell it to and make money towards the new one.
Yeah.
Like we're not, if
so
we've
ultimately
done,
the stove hadn't failed; it was the ground wire that
yeah.
burned up.
So you,
I sent power down the neutral line,
yes,
and that turned their
you
ground into a
swapped one of
fusible
the,
linkage.
yeah. That thing burned up like a fuse. Yeah. It must have been quite the scene in that kitchen. I kind of wish that she had like some cameras.
I'm just glad that I left like 20 minutes before they did that.
Yeah.
But like, have a good night.
Yeah.
Thanks for being my first panel swap.
It's like, I don't know if you ever seen that. There's a TikTok or a short video where the electrician flips a breaker and you hear somebody scream upstairs and then he turns it back off. That's probably what it would have been like if he had been inside the house.
Yeah.
So
the main was on inside when he turned on the disconnect?
Must have been. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if it energized the neutral, it didn't have to be, because it's the neutral would have been energized,
Sure.
would have been on a breaker.
And the neutral's bonded down at disconnect. Mm-hmm. So, which is probably why I heard a little hum.
Yep.
Yep. So,
anyway, air fryer on the way. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything when I'm in your house.
Tell her to pick one that she wants, because I gotta get an air fryer too. I have one, but it's not her.
Maybe I'll just get her a gift card for Costco or something, so she could just pick out whatever she wants. Or like, yeah, Walmart.
I got my eye on the Ninja Foodie one, or like the Ninja brand. They got this vertical one that stacks like over and under.
Yeah,
it's got the extra large baskets.
I think that's the one that they had at Costco.
Really?
The dual basket one.
What they're asking for?
I don't know. I have the Costco app on my phone. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up right now.
You're gonna do it right now.
No, go ahead.
There you
go. All right, now you keep talking. I'm gonna
okay. Well, I mean, that's it for comments. So I guess we're done here.
All right, time to go home. Costco.
Do like my Jim from The Office.
What?
You ever seen The Office?
No.
Well then, let me explain this to you. Office.
That statement right there, if it went live, would get me so much shit. Yes.
You haven't seen Breaking Bad? No, I've seen it.
I have seen. I actually have seen The Office.
Yeah,
not like other people have. I just don't.
I've seen all of it. It was one of those like phenomena type things. And looking back on it, like everybody in the office is just bullies. Like everybody's just mean to each other. And like throughout the different episodes, like everybody kind of changes play. Like this is the stupid person this episode. Sometimes Dwight's stupid. Sometimes Dwight's the protagonist. Sometimes Jim's stupid. Sometimes Pam's stupid. Sometimes, well, Michael's always stupid. And it frustrates me because like, I don't know, you want to see character growth. And I feel like we didn't see too much character growth until later on in the seasons. And up until then, it was just everybody being kind of mean to each other. And that's not what an office environment should be like, in my opinion.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty close to real life, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
fair. Yeah, it's just a realism type thing. I prefer like Parks and Rec.
See, I don't watch comedies. I don't watch a lot of TV to begin with, but like comedies,
I need some joy in your life, man.
I like things. I don't know. I just couldn't sit and watch something that is unserious. I don't know. It's just
really.
Yeah,
I prefer to watch unserious things because my whole life is serious otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of escape from reality.
I enjoy it. It's not that I don't like it. It doesn't seem like a useful.
Just like World War II documentary.
I kind of feel like TV as a whole just feels kind of a waste of time. I mean, it's.
What do you like to do with your time instead?
I don't know. Honestly, I like social interaction.
Yeah,
so going out,
like board games. Do you like movies?
I do like board games. I do like movies. Okay. Yeah. If I'm watching a movie though, I can watch a comedy movie because they're it's like 2 hour, an hour and a half to 2
Yeah.
hours. It's done. Like the thing about like TV series, like I don't think it's that it's a comedy that bothers me. I think what it is that usually in comedy series like The Office, the actual storyline is spread so far
Mm,
apart that like it just doesn't feel super cohesive
yeah.
to me.
So do you like any other type of series, like dramatic series or like fantasy or anything like that?
Yeah,
Aside-
yeah, yeah. There's quite a few like drama series that I like.
Okay. So
Think of
it's not the episodic, it's more about like the topic. If you're because I feel like a book, for instance, is something that's going to take you 28 hours to read or whatever,
yeah,
right? And you're not going to sit there and watch it all in one or read it all in one go. You're going to read it in episodes,
right.
like chapters. That's what a series is on TV, is it's telling a story in chunks.
Yeah, but
And the episodic style, like Rick and Morty, for instance, there's the overarching story, and then there's individual episodes of the thing that's happening
mhm,
in this episode too. Versus like Family Guy, there's no big story; it's just episodes.
right.
I feel like Parks and Rec has like the overall story of like they start out with the pit that they're trying to turn into a park, right? Um, and then you get to see some character development and growth and all that a little bit. But really, everybody's there to just be kind of stupid and silly and funny. Um, some of my favorite comedy series aren't actually comedies. They've got funny parts, like Ted Lasso. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
Mm-mm.
Highly recommend. It's on Apple TV. The character development in that show is it's amazing. I'm in love with every single fucking character, even the people that I hate in the beginning of the series. Shrinking, that's another really good one on Apple TV. It's about a psychologist who lost his wife and his own psychological problems that he's having while trying to help other people through theirs. Um, I think it's really, and it hits closer to home because my wife's a psychologist. But it's, I don't know, just really good acting, really good character growth. You sort
Yeah,
of feel like you're part of the story with those characters. And I feel like the closest thing you get with The Office is like when you're shipping Jim and Pam. You know, you don't really feel like you're on somebody's side necessarily, except for everybody hates Roy because he's an abusive asshole, you know. But like at the end of it, it's not as fulfilling. There's just not that character growth.
yeah,
And same thing with like Game of Thrones. I feel like in the long portion of really good episodes at the beginning of the series, I was really into all the character development. I was really into watching what was gonna, what's Jon Snow gonna do before they ruined it in the last two seasons
yeah.
because they got rid of all the character development.
How about Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I haven't seen it. My
Oh,
wife loves it.
Jesus Christ, that used to get me laughing so hard. And where I dropped off, I they reached a point where like a lot of the characters, like it just kind of became them like yelling over each other, when they fight.
Yeah.
And that in particular drove me nuts. But the last episode I watched, one of the characters, Charlie, finds out that he was a failed abortion. And
Charlie Day.
my God, that was the funniest thing I had seen in a long time. And I just never picked it back up after. I don't know if I lost my Netflix account or whatever reason I stopped watching. Just never picked it back up.
Yeah.
But I fucking love Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
I love Danny DeVito.
I liked him in Hercules personally.
Hercules.
Philatides.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
You never seen Hercules, the cartoon? The Disney movie?
I don't think I have.
What the hell?
I don't know. I think I've seen like
How old are you? What year were you born?
87.
You're only 3 years older than me. How could you have not seen a
Probably.
1990s Hercules?
Yeah. Maybe I saw it. I did. It was like 35 years ago.
I don't know. I feel like it came out in the late 90s, but that's funny. My wife can quote all of Hercules from whatever line you say. She'll quote it from there on. She'll be able to finish the movie.
The whole movie?
Yeah. She's watched it so many times. Reading ads.
No, I'm looking at that air fryer.
Oh, you're looking
we were
at air
talking
fryers.
about. It is a Ninja air fryer, but it's not the one
That's not the one I was thinking.
it's the Ninja Crispy. And it looks
There's a
like,
dual basket air fryer that they have at Costco.
really?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know if they still have it, but they did when I was there last.
Hold on.
Looks like it right there. Wasn't a Ninja though.
No, and this one is an over under version. Which I don't see.
You just type in Ninja.
I like it how my wife, she's like, we don't have countertop space for that. I was like, oh, but we do for the blender that gets used once a week.
Yeah, well, we have a blender and we put it in the cabinet because we.
I try to
barely
put it
ever
in the
use
cabinet.
one.
They just take it out and don't put it back. No, I'm done.
I'm done.
We have no countertop
Yeah, it looks like
space.
they're just not carrying it anymore. There was like an over under basket air fryer there at one point, but they swap out items all the time at Costco.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So that's their thing. Well, what are we at here? We're 23 minutes. What do you want to do for the next 7 minutes before we got into the topic?
I don't know. We can look at the topic.
Well, before we get into today's topic, we have a word from our sponsor.
Oh God.
Today's episode is brought to you by Breezy, the all-in-one app built to simplify how service businesses run day to day. Breezy handles scheduling, dispatching, estimates, invoices, and customer communication in one clean platform. No juggling apps, no messy workarounds, just straightforward tools designed for contractors in the real world. If admin work is slowing you down or keeping you off the job site longer than it should, Breezy is worth checking out. Try Breezy today and get a $100 Amazon gift card when you sign up. The link is in the episode description. Or you could visit getbreezyapp.com and just check it out. We use Breezy for Baylor Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And it had a lot of bumps when I helped advise on building it. And it's a much more finished and polished product nowadays. I've been very happy with what they can provide for the price that I pay. I started out with another very popular app that's meant for like all home service businesses. And well, it checked some of the boxes. It didn't check all of them. And like the next step up from Breezy is the, $6,000 a month stuff. And that's just insane. It's something that a small business like ours can't afford. Um, for what we pay for it, it's really high quality product. So I always recommend them to small HVAC businesses to help get organized. Thanks to Breezy.
All right.
So what do we got for a topic today, John?
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
We love stirring up controversy here on the Current Comfort and Coffee. It should be Current Comfort and Controversy podcast.
Yeah.
Let's get in a fight.
Nothing works better than pissing our audience off.
Yeah, go ahead and get in the comments, assholes.
Nothing.
I'm leaving that in.
Yeah. I'm leaving that in.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, fucking dicks.
What are you gonna do? Yell at me? Yell at me. I don't care. Hit me with it.
Okay. Most emergency calls are just poor planning.
Yeah. 85% of my emergency calls are due to lack of maintenance.
Mine are just because something's on fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if that has anything to do with planning, but
no, I mean, I feel like if we're talking about HVAC, yes, 85% of the time, I made up this statistic. It's not an actual statistic, but like the vast majority of the time, it's something dirty. It's something that I could have checked in the fall during a maintenance. It's something that it's because they've had crappy filters or no filter, or they didn't change their filter, or there's no batteries in the thermostat. I had one yesterday. The guy called in. He said it stopped working 2 days prior. Now he's paying overtime rates. He could have called us on Thursday. Like, okay, well, unfortunately, we're on overtime rates. I can come out if you want to. Well, I thought.
She's going to charge me more?
It's
why?
Yeah. They didn't have a problem with the overtime rates, but my thing is like, why didn't you call when it stopped working? I don't understand. You waited until it was the coldest day of the week to call and say something. Then yeah, you're gonna have to wait until like 6 before I can get out there. Oh man, yeah. I had several customers tell. Well, I'll see if I can find somebody who can get. Like, I got 9 calls on my schedule.
I know. I was watching it yesterday and watching it. I'm like, poor Randy.
No, I actually love running service. That's like my jam. So I didn't have any problem with doing that. In fact, yesterday was both the shortest and longest day of my life at the same time. You're like, the fact that I was gone all day made it feel like a long day, but the fact that I was moving all day made it just kind of fly by at the same time.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of that revenge lack of sleep. Last night stayed up late watching Markiplier on YouTube with my son. But Yeah, I mean, uh, that's how I make money is by people not taking care of their shit, you know? And then we've got a maintenance plan, that people can sign up for so that doesn't happen to them. So, but the vast majority of my calls yesterday were simple things. Plugged trap, I would have flushed that out in the fall during a maintenance and they wouldn't have had to see me in January if it had been taken care of.
You know what's weird is as a homeowner, even a homeowner that's in the trades who's somewhat I'm kind of mechanically inclined. Like I knew how my furnace work. I went to school for it. I had given it no like a maintenance plan, no thought. I had
Mhm.
no idea those things existed until I met you. And then I
Yeah.
was like, it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, the big thing is you could spend hundreds of dollars every year on repairs and stuff, or you can spend a little bit over $100 in small monthly installments at a discount versus like just paying for the maintenance. You get it for less for being on the plan, and you have all that stuff addressed before the season. Plus, then if it does happen to fail during the off season, you don't pay overtime rates,
Right.
and you get a 10 or 20% discount on whatever the repair is, depending on what plan you're on.
Right.
And we do furnaces, air conditioners, water heaters. We do free panel inspections. Like
Mhm.
why wouldn't you take advantage of that and just make sure you own a house? These are the most expensive things in your home to have to replace. You should maintain them. It's like your car. If you
Also,
don't take it
yeah,
to get
and
the oil changed, your engine's going to blow up.
also if something's really gone wrong, you can die. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah.
You
We
know?
had a customer not that long ago that had 2,700 parts per million in the supply ductwork underneath their furnace. That's insane. That's kill you quickly levels. And carbon monoxide killed my grandparents. And it's all because they didn't have a $20 carbon monoxide detector in their house. You can get them on Amazon delivered to your home. Stop by Walmart on your way after you heard this on the podcast, driving in your car, stop by a hardware store and get a freaking carbon monoxide detector. And I don't know if it's like lack of information or this idea that maintenances are a scam, but the majority of the stuff that I do go out on is completely preventable ahead of time before it's negative 17 degrees overnight. So I agree. But electrical might be different.
For what?
The preventable.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like electrical is, you know, we're not a mechanical type of thing. We don't have a lot of moving parts. So but there's not a huge maintenance aspect to electrical. Not in the home resident. I mean, you should check your breakers. You should actuate. Believe it, you should actuate your breakers and do a lot of those
Just
things.
turn them on and off every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've never read the manuals for maintenance on breakers. Maybe I'll do that this week and try to get a better understanding of what the actual manufacturers
Mhm.
recommend for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, for like Generac recommends that once a year you make sure that everything is operating the way it's supposed to
Mhm.
by turning it off and
Yeah.
making sure the generator fires up and the transfer switch transfers the way it's supposed to and blah blah
Yep.
blah.
It's like a lawnmower or a snowblower or a car. It's an engine. The spark plugs need to be replaced. The air filter needs to be replaced. There's a battery in there that's supposed to be replaced every 4 to 6 years, whether it's bad or not. They recommend putting a new battery in there so that that thing's going to freaking start when power goes out. Otherwise, what's the point of having it?
Next hot take.
Okay, I mean with it.
I'm trying to give you the ones that I feel like are more. The loudest guy on the job site usually knows the
A
least.
loudest guy on the job site's always an asshole.
Yeah.
It sucks because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Like, that's the person that gets paid attention to the most, so they think that that actually means that what they're saying is important,
Yeah.
and it's not. They're just really loud and really annoying, and they're bothering everybody.
It took me years to learn that. Not so much that those people didn't know what they were talking about, but it was like it the guy who did know what he was talking about was over quietly in the corner, like
Doing it correctly.
doing it correctly,
Yeah.
right? And it's like it took me years to where you ask like, is this code or is it preference or is it like? And the thing is, like my journeyman and my mentors early on, they had no idea. They didn't know.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
funny. It gives you, like, an imposter syndrome now, thinking that now you're the expert trying to teach other people to do it, and you're like, I still make mistakes all the time.
yeah,
I'm still learning constantly, and, of course, I've been doing this for almost 2 decades, so, yeah, I am an expert on it. I've
yeah.
been doing it for that long, but that doesn't mean I know everything.
I'm very honest about what I do and don't know. And in fact, like if it's something that I didn't know or I had never thought about, I will actually like drag code books out. I will
Yeah,
I'll say, oh,
they exist.
let's learn.
Yeah,
Why do we do this thing? Does code dictate it? How often should you support this piece of PVC? Let's find out.
mhm,
You know, I used to do that when I had apprentices. Is I carried my code book with me, and when they asked a question, if I didn't know, I would tell them. And how many can you fit in a pipe? That one's a little more complicated depending on what you're trying to pull through the pipe. But
mhm.
um, yeah, it's
Well, that's why those rules exist, so you have something to refer to when you have to ask that question.
yeah, but it's incredible how many people in the field don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, they just
and don't care to know
yeah, yeah, and
or
pretend they
profess to
do
know.
know.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
some of them just make it up, like right then and there. They just totally invent it and they say it like they know exactly what they're talking about, and they are
6 feet.
yeah, 6 feet what?
Exactly. I actually was just looking at a manufacturer spec for supporting vent pipes on a furnace installation, and it's at every 5 feet, but I know that code is every 4 feet. Which one am I gonna do? Manufacturer design or code? Whichever one's most stringent. So I'm supporting my pipe every 4 feet.
Manufacturer trumps all. Electrically, it does.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
with mechanical code. If mechanical inspector comes out and sees that I've got my spacing supporting a pipe every 5 feet, then I would get shot down. I have to have every 4 feet for a PVC vent pipe in the state of Michigan.
Well,
Yeah, um, that's actually, it was a question on my mechanical code exam was which one is do you have to follow? And it's whichever one's more stringent.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our code, let's see. Now I'd have to look it up, and I probably will just to give you so you can throw it up on the screen.
Mhm.
Um,
Blech.
but our code, I believe, if code says 6 foot supports and the manufacturer says 8 foot, I'm using supports as a
Yeah,
then the manufacturer, I believe, trumps actual code.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know why.
yeah. Well, I mean, and it's possible that electric code is different for a reason too. I didn't write the codes. I just know that I have to follow 'em.
I think it has something to do with UL listings and the way it's tested and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yep. I mean, if you're gonna get really crazy about it, technically in Michigan, the PVC isn't supposed to be used for venting anyway. We're supposed to use ABS or polypropylene, but because PVC is in the manufacturer guidelines, we're allowed to use it. So in that case, we don't get shot down for PVC. I'll gladly switch over to ABS or polypropylene. I don't care. It's just a different type of glue and a different type of pipe. It's the same thing. So, like, I don't have a problem with it at all. But like in Canada, they use mainly that gray pipe for their exhaust. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. I think it's Aune Mechanical. He does a lot of boiler stuff, and almost all of his boiler stuff is in that gray, like polypropylene pipe. And I think it looks clean, you know. So, but everybody has their own opinion on what type of venting stuff. As long as it's not proprietary, like you have to order this brand venting for our product, I'm okay with whatever, you know.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of that in the electrical side. Honestly, I've seen some of it on your side, like I want to say it was the mini splits. I've seen some mini splits or some HVAC equipment where we were required to pull the wire. See, now I'm questioning my own thing. There are special cables sometimes that you have to pull that are basically just 2 wires.
Yeah.
I thought the cable for some of those mini splits.
Yeah, the communication and power cable that goes between the condenser and the head on a ductless system, it's got to be 14 gauge, 3 wire with a ground.
Do any of your manufacturers actually require that it be a specific brand?
No, I don't think so. It's you can buy it from the distributor. They
Yeah.
carry whatever the manufacturer recommends.
Yeah.
But like I could use one from a different distributor as long as it meets code. So I've got two kinds. One's like an extension cord type material. You know what I mean? It's a 14.3, but it's like wrapped in a coating. It's like UV resistant, looks kind of like an extension cord.
Hmm.
And then I've got another one that's flexible metallic conduit, but it's got a coating on the outside of a UV protection coating, but it's just like BX. It's just like the 12.2 and the 14.2 that we carry, except it's 14.3 with a ground inside of a flexible metallic conduit coated in black, like sealant, water sealant
Hmm.
of some kind. And that's allowed on any of them I've ever put in too. So I don't know, like if there's a rule that's just not being enforced either. That's another problem I have with my side of things is like I could do an install in Ann Arbor or Grand Rapids and get shot down for something that's technically in the Michigan Mechanical Code,
Hmm.
but not get shot down in Genesee County for it or Davison for it
Yeah,
or whatever.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's
again, I just try to go with the
it's
most
it's
stringent.
little things. Honestly, the one that gets me is, and I don't want to argue about the legitimacy of it, is the Romex in exterior disconnects.
Mm,
You know,
coming into the back of the
yeah, it
box.
crosses in from the inside of the house into the box. Oh, that's technically Romex. It's not, wet rated. Blah blah blah.
Maybe
Okay, so
do a
you
junction
want me to
box
do a
inside.
junction box? It's all drywall in there, right? Like I got to make a hole in the ceiling to do that. Like,
Yeah.
really?
For three
Is it
wires coming
technically
in.
right? I'm not even going to argue that because I would have to actually like look at the code and
Yeah.
what sections. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now,
Yeah.
but I
What's the
it might,
alternative? Put in a junction box and run a seal tight from that to the outside of
or
a whip.
yeah, or yeah, put like a junction box with a seal tight whip to the outside and run, THWN wet rated, and it just, that's silly. It's silly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's there is a line between like code and common sense, and like where are we really doing something because it's safe, or are we just, running on technicalities, which also is a valid argument. I mean, some technicalities do, we have to have law,
Yeah.
order, right? We have to have some order and rules to the things we're doing, and sometimes that line sucks, but it just is what it
Yeah,
is.
you gotta draw a line somewhere, and
Mm.
sometimes it's right in the middle of that thing that you don't like it to be in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
which brings us to our next hot take. Some permits exist just to create jobs.
Mm.
What do you feel about
It
that?
does seem like it affects me pretty directly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
at first, it was just commercial jobs. I was required to pull an electrical permit for the switch on the side of the furnace. 3 wires, you know?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Same thing with electrical. If you were running a new circuit to an air conditioner, you got to pull a permit for it. It's a new circuit. That makes sense. I get it. We're running a new circuit. You should have somebody qualified to run that new circuit. I'm not opposed to that. But I also started doing this almost 20 years ago, and we ran all our own circuits back then. Nobody had a problem with it for a little while. We ran SEU from the panel to the condenser or to the disconnect. And we kept 10, 10, 10, and 8, 8, 8 on the truck. And we just ran it ourselves and we were done. Sized the breaker according to the rating plate. And because it was SEU, we could nail it underneath the joists. It didn't matter where it went. You could wrap it around the house if we wanted to. So we had full jurisdiction. We put the NOACs on it. And then eventually started getting shot down for not pulling an electrical permit, not having a electrician on site. And then we weren't allowed to pull it anymore. So we had to find a subcontractor to either sign off on our stuff, which is completely illegal, by the way. I say our stuff, it's a company I worked for.
Mhm.
Um, and then eventually a master on staff. Because it got too expensive to send an electrician out to run a circuit. We were paying somebody $1,500 to go run one circuit because they could be out putting in a panel, but instead they're pulling a circuit for us. So they're charging us through the nose for it. Again, I keep saying us. I don't have that problem. My master's right here. Um, my master. But yeah, like I know how to pull an electrical circuit mainly because I've been doing it for a long time. I learned how to wire panels correctly the second time. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to the idea of creating jobs for that sort of thing. But like, does that mean I need to hire a plumber for the drain line on the
Yep.
furnace? Are the PVC vent pipes going to be plumbing now? I have plumbers bid against me for gas lines because their plumbing license allows them to install gas lines.
Yeah.
And I don't care. That's fine. But like, also, where's the cutoff? Because like, I'm allowed to install water heaters with a mechanical permit, but I'm hooking up water lines. Like we've created these lines that are rules or whatever, but they're so blurred because it's a gas fired appliance. It falls under my mechanical license, but a plumber could put one in if they wanted to with a plumbing permit. But they the gas line, the electrical to an electric water heater, like they don't need to pull an electrical permit,
Yeah.
or do they? I don't know. So I feel like essentially they are working towards creating like you have to have a company that does it all, or you can't affordably do it
Yeah.
because you're subcontracting to people who are going to charge you an upcharge, and then you've got to then make money off of that upcharge in order to justify offering it to the client. So now your, $1,500 electrical circuit is $2,000 for the customer because you've got to have a certain amount of markup for overhead and all that at the end of the day in order for your books to make sense. And that was the problem we were having at the company I was operations manager for, is we couldn't afford to keep subcontracting an electrician, especially with it being a statewide company. They were charging us X amount of $100 just to drive to Alpena, do the work, and drive back. They're there all day. Of course, they're charging us for a full day. I could have
Mhm.
had them do a panel swap locally for less than what they were charging us to drive to the
Yep.
UP. So,
I feel like I had the same conversation with one of the electrical companies or yeah, one of the companies we were going to partner with to help take on some of their work. It's like, wow, we hire this guy who operates on the back of his truck and hires, a couple. You can't even compete with it. It's if you're being subbed by a company like that, I mean, you're not making anything,
right.
Yeah. So yeah, the best way to do it is just have all your own guys. But
Yeah.
my problem is less with um the permit side of it, and it's more with the code side of it. You know, in the role I was in at the last company I was at, we had to understand the changes to the National Electrical Code as well as like the energy code, right? Because, when you're looking through drawings and it states, you know, must be the drawings, which are basically a legal document that you're saying, hey, we price this price to this building. And it says must comply with the 2021 energy code. Okay. Very, very bland statement,
Yep.
right? So I had to understand those
Big
things.
books to have to comply
Yeah,
to.
that's what I'm
everything
saying.
is
Like,
fine.
so do we meet those standards? Well, if we get halfway through the project and the drawings don't show those standards on there, I have to know that.
Yeah.
So that I can say, well, you signed this contract, said that you were priced to these drawings. Okay.
The price of the
Guess I'm going to eat
drawings,
it.
but not this little word
Yeah.
next to the
So
drawings.
basically, I guess where I'm going with it is that like, they're trying to push the National Electrical Code, or the Michigan Electrical Code to include things like arc fault breakers, ground fault breakers, which takes like a $6 breaker and turns it into a $60 breaker.
Mhm.
Then you multiply that by all the breakers inside the house, so the cost of install actually goes up substantially for what I guess in my opinion is limited return.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing with the energy code. Like here now, if your building has windows that are over this size, you have to have daylight sensors that dim the lights with the amount of daylight that's coming in. We went from incandescent and fluorescent to LED. That was a huge jump in efficiency.
Yeah.
I mean, humongous. They basically took all the light that these things created and created a diode that only produces the light that we see, right? Versus
heat as well, and other parts of the electromagnetic spectrum.
So it's like, to say in an energy efficiency code that you have to have LED lights, we'll just say of this efficiency, fine, sure, whatever. But like the amount of costs that's being driven into install that is being pushed on to the customer, which ultimately gets pushed on to the cost of construction, which ultimately additional costs slows construction because it now costs more to build. Like there's this balance game that I feel like is like these manufacturers must have lobbyists.
Yeah, I was
that
just
say here, you have to install this thing now because now we can charge more for this thing and it raises our profits, and then we take those profits, we pay the politicians to add more things to that list. Like it does feel like it's out of control.
Right.
That's as somebody who had my fingers in that stuff all the time, it does feel like, what are we doing? Like I sat and listened to like fire alarm people argue about whether or not Michigan should require sprinkler systems inside new build homes. We can't afford homes now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the cost of building, like a starter home now is like $500,000 to build.
Yep.
That's crazy. Why? So we're going to put sprinkler systems in it now?
Right.
Are we going to require generators in case like there's a solar flare? You know,
Right.
like, it's Jesus Christ. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like it's like the bureaucracy side of it.
Right.
Is just like totally lost
When
touch
you
with
look
the
at the
needs
houses that
of
exist
people.
now, and the majority of those houses were built in the 1950s, 1970s, whatever, and they operate just fine. You know, maybe they could use some more insulation. Maybe they could switch out some lights for LEDs, but like
S-style fuses to thermomagnetic breakers, an amazing change.
Yeah.
Thermomagnetic breakers work great most of the time. Do you, if you've ever used arc fault breakers and ground fault breakers, they have needs like a ground fault breaker for a GFCI that is inaccessible, like a something underneath a counter or a washing machine or a dishwasher.
Yep. Yep, I have those in my panel.
Yeah, they're great. It's a great thing to have, but to require them, arc fault breakers for your whole house, that's why. I just, are we really saving that many lives? I mean, and maybe somebody listening knows better than I do.
Yeah.
And I would love somebody to educate me if there are numbers and statistics that back that. But I think the economic weight of that additional cost versus the actual safety aspect of it is not a balanced topic.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
I think there's a lukewarm take at best.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It was very hot. It was the sexiest thing I've seen this week.
Oh God.
It's Sunday.
Think about it later.
I'll think What other hot takes you got for me?
Man, I almost don't even want to say some of these, that way like they don't get like out of context put as my own opinion, because some of these are just like stupid things that people say.
Okay. And we can skip whatever you're uncomfortable talking about.
Like new construction isn't better, it's just newer. That's a stupid thing to say.
That is a stupid thing to say. I don't know. I watched a video not too long ago about how like homes today, even though they're like super insulated and meet all these requirements for like trapping heat inside, they still lose heat way more rapidly than how we used to build homes out of other materials like brick and logs.
Yep.
There's so much thermal mass there that you could leave the heat off inside of and just leave a light bulb on, and it would be enough to keep the pipes from freezing. An incandescent light bulb. You kick on a wood stove. Yeah, you kick on a wood stove, and it was hot enough for hours with a couple logs. Versus now we've got a piece of sheetrock, some foam, and then another piece of sheetrock, or a piece of OSB, and then some vinyl. It's the wall's this big and there's no mass to it. It's all just about an air barrier, and it doesn't hold any heat.
Mhm.
If you had a pool of water, it would hold heat better than the walls of your house do, or your couch does, or whatever, you know? Um, so if I ever build a house, it's gonna be a freaking log cabin, that's what I learned.
Yeah.
So yeah, newer is not always better. It's just more efficient than the other new,
It's
which was
just
stick built homes.
it's just different. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I grew up in a double wide trailer, and um, talk about poor insulation. Some of the insulation, some of those walls was literally just cardboard. And we were on propane. I can imagine what my parents' propane bill was. Probably thousands of dollars every few months. So
I forgot what we were doing. So that's supposed to
hot
be looking.
takes, yeah,
That's supposed to be looking some. Oh, I was looking up the next hot take.
where,
Everyone lies about how fast they can finish a job.
yeah. I'm just wrong. I
Yeah.
don't think that I'm lying. I just think that I'm faster than I am.
Yeah. You were able to do that thing one time in 20 minutes, but your average is usually like 40 to an hour. And so for like, you've learned like, I can do that in 20
Yeah,
minutes. So every time you do that, it's 20 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah. That's something I had to actively counteract when I started doing estimating. Cause it's
Mhm.
like, no, do not put 3 hours for a panel change.
Yeah.
Like
You've
that.
done it one time.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's
Yeah, I'm the same way. Um,
music on the job should be a group decision or not allowed.
what? A group decision where we're gonna take a poll? I brought the stereo. I'm gonna play my freaking music. Get your own stereo. Put your headphones
You've
in.
obviously never been on a large job site where there's like, yeah. My favorite was when the drywallers were often Mexican
Yeah,
bring their music and start jamming it and it starts pissing off like, oh boy. You know what I mean? He's like, oh God, dude, we had this.
dude. I'll a cucaracha.
I enjoyed that fight every single time because those drywallers did not give a fuck about him.
Yeah.
And he was the most racist piece of shit I've ever met in my whole life. And it was fun just
Who
watching him get
cares?
mad.
Yeah, like why? Put your headphones in, then, dude. I don't know what you want. You know, like
Um,
who cares?
a lot of it, I don't know. I've seen a lot of the different. We had I was working on a high rise where like different trades got there going. So sometimes you'd go up to a floor and you'd hear all kinds of music going, and we had a foreman that would not foreman. I'm sorry,
I forgive you.
general contractor guy who'd come up and he'd only wanted music levels loud enough to be heard. The argument was a safety argument that if there's something going on or if there's a piece of equipment moving through the building that could not be heard over your music. Um, Same thing with headphones. I mean, a lot of the headphones have a pass through
Yeah,
now,
that's
so
what
I'm
we
not
do.
sure
Yeah.
what the argument for that is.
Mine automatically get quieter if I'm using a loud like device like a saw or something.
Yeah.
They protect my ears, so I'm going to use them.
Yeah.
I use them all the time. Even if I don't have music playing in 'em or whatever, I'll pop them in when I'm drilling or cutting or whatever, just to protect my ears.
Yep. Um, yeah, I feel like if you have to think that hard about like music and whether you have it or what we're listening to, then it's totally besides the point.
I think it's just a control thing.
Yeah.
Some people like to have
I think
control, and if they realize other people are in charge, that they're not.
I had one of my journeymen that I had would listen to the same. It was like a classic rock techno remix. It was so fucking bad. It was so bad. And he'd listen to it every day. And it was like a 4-hour playlist of the same songs every day. And I think like 3 months in, I thought I was going to lose my fucking mind. It's like, I cannot. I was like, I'm going to kill him with this hammer. It's like,
Hey man, is there a chance we put on a different playlist today?
he was an ass, like one of the biggest assholes I ever had to work with. If there was a reason I left the trades, it was because of him. And he's dead now, God rest his soul.
Poor
But
guy.
yeah. He was so bad. I don't think I'd ever experienced like losing, like feeling like you're gonna lose your mind from listening to somebody's music. Like there's music like I don't like, but when you've heard the song for the 40th time in a month, like it's like I can't handle it.
There
I'm gonna snap.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it's this lady in the kitchen. She's like trying to get food prepped or something, and there's kids yelling in the background, and you can just hear like this noise, this like static, almost this white noise in the background. And it's like getting more like louder and louder, and you could see like the rage on her face as she's like losing her mind. And then her husband comes in and turns off the exhaust fan, and then she just goes silent. She goes, "When you think that you're about to explode, then you realize that you were just overstimulated." It's like, yeah, yeah, it happened to me the other day. I was at Big Apple Bagels, with Sarah and Aster. We were going through price book items. You were there. And
I was
yeah.
just letting you tell the story.
Oh, okay. And, yeah, somebody turned that draft hood off, and there's
All of a
like,
sudden the whole room went,
yeah,
everybody kind of looked around like
it was like,
really quiet.
oh my gosh. There was actually nothing going on. My brain just felt like there was a million things going on. I was actively like, static. There's this pulse going on in my head, and then all of a sudden it stopped. It was like, oh, my mind is clear. You know, that's why I put music on a job site, is to get rid of like that drone. It's to like have something that's stimulating in not a negative way.
I can't wait until we have a new construction job site. God, I can't wait. There's nothing better than like, dude, just like,
I wish you would have been down with us at Fairview. That's what we were doing, was jamming out. We were all dancing, listening to Sabrina Carpenter.
yeah, man. And you hit it in a run. I mean, you can just like, you can get so much shit done. Like, again, some of my best memories are early in my career with a group of guys that I liked working with. We'd throw on whatever.
Mhm.
We had one guy that used to get mad at me because one of my actually several of my playlists had Ice Ice Baby on it. And some of the other guys are like, yeah, he's like, Josh told me if he hears Ice Ice Baby one more time, he's gonna stab you with a screwdriver. He's like, Jesus.
It's not that bad of a song.
It probably is when you hear again, it was one of those songs that you probably heard come from my algorithm like
Yeah.
3 times a day.
Oh, okay.
Because there's like 12 versions of the song.
Oh,
Because it's
no,
the only song that the guy made any money on. So he redid it like 16 times.
remastered.
So yeah,
2021.
like the Pandora or Spotify doesn't
Hey,
really
he
know the
likes
difference.
this.
He's like,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
different song, just
yeah.
with the same name, it's the same song. Yeah.
It's, sometimes I'll listen to like my classic rock. I think it's CCR radio is,
Mhm.
I love
Mm,
Creedence. Yeah, that's like my summertime playlist, man.
yep.
But it'll start to run out of stuff. It'll start to play live versions. And it's like, I mean, 10 minutes ago, I just listened to the same freaking song, man.
Yep.
Like, I I get it. It's a different song, but like I just heard it a minute ago. I don't know. I wish there was a way to like turn off live versions or something so it would stop doing that to me. Because like it gets to the point where it's like starts playing like classic rock that isn't Credence related. It'll be like Metallica or something, and it's like this is a different type of,
Yeah, it starts digging into
yeah,
like what the things you like. It's
yeah,
like, well, that'd be sad.
yeah. I've had it pull out some random stuff that was not even close because it ran out of stuff to give me. But that's like my classic like gardening or yard work playlist is I'll put on CCR radio and I'll just play that for everybody in the backyards of my complex to have to listen to. Got one of those big ass Bluetooth
That's a
speakers.
pretty good radio in order.
Hell yeah.
But they yeah, I know what you're talking about. My Spotify account was linked to our like our family Alexas.
Mhm.
So anytime they got used, it has a lot of like twinkle twinkle little star on it. So you just it was funny, they released that the DJ option,
Mhm.
and the shit he would play is like, yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Like, can we stick to one
Is that an
genre?
AI DJ?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was so bad. God, I can't wait for AI to just die. I
Yeah.
hope it just dies.
I doubt that that's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, when we talk about AI, anything is technically just like,
We're propping it up by talking about it.
all right, we're done.
I mean, I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. Like eventually podcasts are going to be completely AI generated. We literally just watched a Jarvis Johnson video last night on YouTube about, those like stupid pranksters on TikTok or whatever. They'll go into like stores and pretend that like they'll scream like, "Oh God, help me." And then somebody runs over and they're like, "No, it wasn't me. I just heard that too." And then they'll go around looking for this person. um, this guy was taking pictures of or video of people and then using AI to generate them like stealing something or sniffing panties or whatever, and then showing it to the person that they made the AI of.
I would punch that guy in the throat.
Right. Well, that's the reaction most people had because it's not a freaking prank. That's like identity
Yeah.
theft.
Yeah. You're also, you're creating evidence of me doing a crime. I will fucking kill you.
Right. Yeah.
No.
And one of them was literally showing a guy pickpocketing somebody, and then he took it to security. He took it to like employees of the place, and then they had to confront this guy. And then he gave him like $140. And you could tell like nobody was having a good time,
Yeah.
like, thanks. Cool. Thanks for ruining my day and giving me $140. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
And then you start to think, was the whole thing AI generated or just the part that he
That goes
showed
back
the
to
guy?
that, what do you called it? The dead internet theory.
Yeah.
That's honestly become, since I got back onto Facebook, like their reels or the things that I found myself scrolling through there, and the AI stuff. It's very easy to spot now, but it makes me sick. Like
Yeah.
watching it, even it's like, why is there so much of this on here?
Yeah.
And for what purpose? Like,
One of my neighbors posted on his story a video of some lady screaming at a police officer, like right up in his face. And he's just standing there stoic and then pulls up pepper spray and sprays it in her mouth. And the
like chest
reactions,
spray or like,
it's like, no, like pepper spray,
yeah,
like mace or something.
yeah,
First of all, there's no way you're spraying that 4 inches from your face into somebody else's face and not also reacting to it. She didn't react appropriately to it, just like painted her face orange, and then she like started to like spit or whatever. Like, not how you react when you get sprayed with pepper spray or mace.
yeah,
It was obviously AI, but he had posted it as like this like "got you libs," type thing, and it's like this is literally just propaganda. You're posting
yeah.
something that's literally just AI slop. And my editor over here giving me eyes.
Nosy engineer.
Yeah, engineer. Sorry.
Yep. We'll have him.
His Nintendo DS.
We'll have him do topics not last minute.
Yeah, I mean, he had a few of them in the chamber for us.
Mhm. He did.
So, no, what was the one that came up was "Would you rather?" And then we did, or he mentioned we could do this or that, which is basically "Would you rather?" But that's like the off-brand "Would you rather?" I don't know. I listen to a lot of Distractable podcast, and those guys are fun. They come up with a new game every single episode, and we could steal a couple games.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you've ever,
Games would be fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Magic the Gathering,
I feel like that would not be fun for most of our
Dungeons and Dragons.
14
I feel like,
viewers.
yeah, all 14 of you need to comment on this and let us know what you want us to talk about. Otherwise, we're going to run out of things to talk about. Thank you to our sponsor, Breezy, for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget about your opportunity for a $100 Amazon gift card if you try Breezy out. Thanks to Scooter's Coffee for existing. Thanks to J. Patrick Studios for hosting. So this has been the episode 6 of the Current Comfort and Coffee podcast. I've been your host, Rainey Dallaire. John Harvey.
I'm John.
Just John.
Just John.
And well, I hope you have a great day.
Yeah. You're going to have to murder this podcast in order to get it.
Oh, I'm just going to cut out like 39 minutes and then put this ending on it, including this part right here where I said I cut out 39 minutes.
Make some private clips just for us.
I think maybe we'll put it on Patreon.
There you go.
Yeah. If anybody's listening, they think we should make a Patreon, let us know. All 14 of you, let us know. Peace.